The Common Sense program is a series of shows featuring interviews with very interesting people so that we can learn in a clear, concise, and direct way who these folks are, what they do, and what makes sense to them and what doesn't. I'm Rudy Breglia, and today I'll be interviewing the competent and experienced former Avon Lake Mayor and Council Member, Casey Zuber. Casey, welcome to Common Sense, and thank you for your service.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being here, Rudy. I'm usually on the other side of this, interviewing you or somebody else.
All right.
This makes it a little bit more interesting.
Okay, I'll try to make it as interesting as I can. Please start us off by giving a little bit of your background.
Well, I've lived in Avon Lake since 1968 when my family moved here, built a house on Bell Road, which anybody that knows where Bell Road is, it's right at the conjunction Bell Road Park and the County Metro Park, which I'm the one that put together the team for the Save the Woods that created the Metro Park. And that's probably one of the things that I'm best known for, and I'm in the park. In fact, when we're done with this interview, I'm going to take a walk in the park to get my steps in for today.
Well, you've done a lot of beneficial things for the town. And,
I've always tried to work good, and I tend to be at times a little bit on the heavier side when I talk about things. But, you know, as I've gotten older, I've mellowed out a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Goodness
but mayor and
for that.
council, 22 years of an elected official in Avon Lake. So...
Yeah, so now is one of those rare times when you weren't in office.
Right. And that was over 35 years, I think.
Okay. Well, what is the Zuber's Lincoln Project?
Zuber's Lincoln Project is a nonprofit that I started, was incorporated in November of last year through the Secretary of State, got the registration through the IRS in February of this year. And it's basically an educational promoting Abraham Lincoln and the fact that he authored the Emancipation Proclamation that freed the slaves.
Yes.
And it's in conjunction a little bit with the Juneteenth holiday is sort of something I'm working on with several other people and some different speakers there, but it's mostly to educate the public of that Abraham Lincoln, the first Republican president, and that's something that I think needs to be stressed, that he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation that freed the slaves. I mean, you know, sure, the Civil War...
absolutely wonderful.
Right. Did a lot with that, you know, I mean, but he was the impetus behind it. And so that's what, it's an educational thing that I'm trying to push forward.
Okay, and who else is involved?
It's mainly myself, and as I've gone along with these things, I've put together a team specifically for the, you know, I'm going to have a fundraiser in North Ridgeville, but like Tommy Pan's working with me on it, the Young Republicans, the Americas for Prosperity, Turning Point. There's a lot of different entities that I'm working with. A lot of them are 501c3s on more of the conservative side of what you would say the spectrum that I'm looking at, working with some of those people. And I don't think that we don't have a board of directors or anything like that because it's new. I'll be looking at doing more of that once I get through the Juneteenth celebration, putting together a solid team that really wants to work with me on it.
Okay. Now, I think the viewers are going to see a copy of your flyer for the meeting.
Right. What I have going now is a Juneteenth celebration at the 8820 in North Ridgeville, and we're going to have several different speakers, but the 8820 is the old VFW on Bender Road in North Ridgeville. In fact, an old friend of mine who grew up in Avon Lake, Mike Babbitt, who I've known for 50 years, owns it. And he has Forever Green Lawn Care is his landscape company that he's had for years, but he owns it. So there's an Avon Lake touch with him, and we're going to have several different speakers that are going to be coming to this event. And it's hamburgers, hot dogs, just a general picnic thing, but it's more of a celebration of Juneteenth and the freeing of the slaves.
Yes. Now, are other events planned for this year, this summer?
From my standpoint, for the Zuber's Lincoln Project at this point in time, no. I'm looking at doing something next year, but this is something I wanted to do this year just to kick it off. And you know, I was able to get some inheritance from my mother, which enabled me to start this nonprofit.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, who's going to speak on June 19th?
The main speaker is Peter Kirsanow. He's
Okay.
the
I'm familiar with him. You know.
yeah, he's the U.S. Civil Rights Commission,
Right.
has been for many years. First supported by George Bush. He's a very good speaker.
Yes, I've heard him.
Right. Yeah, he's very good. He's the keynote, and I'm very thankful that when I first contacted him, he got back to me, and I've been in contact with him since then. We also have Brandon Rossi from
Yeah,
Turning Point
familiar
Action.
with him as well. Yes.
Right. He's going to be one of the speakers. Andrew Vitale from the Lorraine County Young Republicans. I myself will speak, and we also have a representative from Americas for Prosperity.
Okay.
Is going to be hopefully coming to speak too at the event. So like I said, we have a lot of different conservative 501c3s and C4s that I'm going to be working with on this.
Okay. What other events are planned?
Well, I'm looking at probably next year, and because it's such a new entity that and putting different things together, but I'm talking about trying to do something in Avon Lake at Veterans Park next year. I'm looking at trying to do that.
Okay.
But that's really in its infancy, and I've talked to a couple different things. We also have coming a True North Cultural Arts. Rick Fortney is going to be coming in, and they're going to be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. They're going to be doing some singing prior to the event,
Okay.
or at the opening of the event,
All right.
too. So, and Rick and I go way back,
Way back. Yeah.
to our July 4th events that we had on the lakefront back when I was mayor in 2010 and 11.
Okay. Why now the emphasis on the Emancipation Proclamation?
Well, the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, and that's what a lot of Juneteenth's all about, is that when the slaves in Texas found out that they were free people.
Yes.
And so in looking at this from my standpoint, I want to be able to stress that it was Abraham Lincoln that
Right.
wrote
He was
that,
the man.
and he was the first Republican president.
Yeah.
So it was the Republicans that basically freed the slaves. I mean, sure, there was a devastating war
You bet.
that they had but it was Abraham Lincoln that basically made this happen as the president of the United States, and he was the first Republican president.
Uh-huh.
And I think that that's
Great man.
right. He was a great man, and we need to celebrate that and what he did for our country, and this is a great way to do that. And when the Juneteenth came upon and was passed back in 2021 as a holiday, this was something that I had thought about. This is something that we
Okay.
could really look at celebrating, because it's the only real holiday that celebrates the freeing of the slaves.
Yeah, right,
And
right.
and we need to make sure that people are educated on the fact that it was Abraham Lincoln that did that. I mean, we could go off on tangents, this and that happened, but it was mainly Abraham Lincoln that did it.
Yeah. How can you be contacted for more information about the event and also how to make a donation to the
Like
activity?
I said, it's a 501c3, so any donation is now tax deductible, and also under what we call the BBB, the Big Beautiful Bill, everyone can write off tax from a 501c3 now, up to $1,000 single, $2,000 if married. But they can contact me at kczuber@yahoo.com or contact me at 440-309-5940 if they want to get involved in this particular endeavor. And like I said, I'm hoping to do different things in the future, but
You think you'll have a website? Do you have one now?
no, I
or-
don't have any website or anything like that. Like I said, I've been trying to put this together, and you know, Like I
maybe in
said,
the
it's only been
future,
it's only a few months since I got the
I
501c3
see, I
status.
see.
It was back in February. So, and trying to put something like this together with the team, but also just all the different rules and different things like that of a 501c3. So, but any check could be payable to Zuber's Lincoln Project.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover about the events or the project itself?
Just that this is going to be an ongoing thing, that we're going to be involved. And I'd look to get involved in other different, if there's any other different organizations with the city that are nonprofits. Hopefully, we'll be working with them for next year when I'm looking at putting something together, hopefully on the lakefront for that.
Okay.
But yeah, if anybody's interested in learning more about it, they can contact me. And
What about volunteers?
sure,
Do you think you could
yeah.
use
Oh,
volunteers
yeah.
to help?
You can always use volunteers. I haven't heard you, Rudy, come forward and say you're going to volunteer yet. But
Yeah,
I know that I know that you've done and are doing plenty of volunteer work.
I think I will help on your on
Well, I
your event
appreciate-
on June 19th.
Okay, I already have a job for you, Rudy.
Okay, well,
I'm not going to
thanks.
say what it is right now.
Okay,
because
all right.
we've got to, we got to put together. But yeah, anybody that wants to help. But I mean, this is a conservative group that's celebrating Juneteenth,
Okay.
and most of the people that got invites, over 350 people were sent letters, invites, are more conservative people and just people that I know that have been friends of mine for years and have been donating. I have a list of people that I've mailed to for many years, asking for money and donations and things like that. And
Okay.
it's been some time, so since I've gone out and asked for money, but so the list, I had to update the list and things like that, which I did on vacation.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that you're still involved and you want to contribute to the community,
Sure.
and you've done that for, you said 35 years of civic
Over the last
involvement?
35 years, yeah, over the last 35 years.
Well, I know you've contributed a lot, and you've helped me in different things, and I know you've made enormous contributions to the city, and thank you for doing that.
But no, I appreciate that, Rudy. And if, like I said, anybody has any questions, they can contact me. I'm just trying to get the word out on this, and basically, it's a new thing and it's a new phenomenon, and a lot of people don't, I think, totally grasp yet the impact that June 19th really had on the nation itself, in what happened. And I think in the future, hopefully people will be open to hearing more about it and the effect that it's had, not only on the nation, but on the Republican Party too, because I think that that's a big part of it. And anybody that knows me as a person knows that I'm a Republican. I mean, I was 24 years old when I became the chairman of the Republican Party here in Avon Lake. So, and being in the political world as far as an elected official, you weren't as deliberate in being involved in those type of things as you would be now that I'm not. So I'm a little bit more forceful in trying to get my point across on something like this.
Okay. Well, could you give the audience again your contact information?
Okay, the contact info, 440-309-5940. That's my phone number. And also you can contact me at kczuber@yahoo. That's my email address. So you can contact me both those different ways, and I'd be glad to send something out to you in the mail or email back to you the flyer that I know they put up on the screen here for us. So.
Okay. Well, your contact information will be at the bottom of the screen, but just in case I wanted you to give it again.
And it's on that flyer too, so it may be a little bit small to read on TV, but still, it's on there.
Okay.
And
well, thank you for appearing, and thank you for watching. If you would like to appear on the show, or you know some interesting people that you think would like to appear on the show, please send us their confirmation, their communication information, and we'll take it from there. And thank you for watching, and remember, seatbelts save lives.